Good morning, everyone. I literally just woke up. Um, it's like my first semi-solid night of sleep since my accident. I only woke up once, and that was right at the time I needed to take my meds and go to the bathroom. Something I usually don't do at night either. But um, I slept. I usually get up lately. I've been getting up around 4 or 5 in the morning, and I slept till 7. Um, I'm staying with a host. This host has been very kind to me. She is helping me out, got me to the DPS to get to my belongings. Um, and she also is hosting me while I'm here to review all my belongings. And it's just been, yesterday was a tough day. I didn't even look at my bicycle. Uh, it was just my materialistic items, which quite a few things were missing. Um, it was hard because a lot of the stuff that is missing or didn't make it um, had a lot of sentimental value or value for like money value, um, which is going to be hard to document. Thankfully, I was documented the day before my accident for a documentary, so I'm working on getting that film um, for either word verbiage um, or visible uh, visible seeing of it to help try to document all my items and get those going. Good morning, everyone. I love you guys as well, um, and I miss home, but it's not safe for me to go there, not for a long period. So that's why I'm not going back to Massachusetts. But at some point, I hope to be able to get back there and check on everybody and for everybody to check on me. But that's in due time. Right now, my focus is healing. Um, but yeah, it was really tough yesterday going through the boxes, the broken bags, um, my clothes, which I was able to bring with me to get cleaned and washed, and I'm thankful that I got those. So everything that I have for laundry is right here. My host was very kind to wash them for me and clean them, and even fold them. Something I'm super appreciative of. Like I said, my host that I'm having now has been great. She's hosted me last night and tonight. Then she'll be taking me back in the morning on Thursday morning back to Flagstaff so I can get a final checkout with my surgeon that did a majority of my work on my left leg. Um, and like I said, he did an amazing job. If you guys anybody wants to see that, feel free to DM me. I'll send you my giant scar. It's probably about a 2 foot long scar or close to. And it was just amazing how he was able to move my skin around to make it work instead of doing skin grafting, which ultimately, hopefully, and most likely will give me more mobility. And again, it's just amazing that I slept so well as I did. I think I went to bed. It was around 10 o'clock. I woke up around 3:30, and then just woke up here like just after 7. Like I said, I haven't done that in a while. So super thankful that I was able to get some rest. I was on an amazing bed. It didn't hurt my tailbone at all. I didn't hurt. It kind of like just cradled me. I um, felt like I was being taken care of, even though I already am from everybody else. Like it's crazy how a bed can do that. uh, but no, again, the host that I have right now, she's making sure that I get everything taken care of through DPS. Like I said, that's the state trooper's office. Making sure I can get there and get my stuff organized for either disposal after I take documentation of it, or being able to ship it to either Alabama, where I have my nonprofit, for sentimental storage, ultimately. And then also so I can send a lot of my stuff to Texas, where I'll be staying for at least 6 months. But again, I'm really excited about that. I talked to Chris last night of a Heart of Volunteer Veterans podcast. I keep bringing it up, and if you guys haven't checked it out, go to my website, go to Spotify, look it up, Heart of Volunteer Veterans podcast. We're all over it. And again, if you go to my website, you can see all the ones that I've been on from there. I've been a co-host on that show 4 times, more than any other veteran. And I'm going to continue to do that in a different aspect. And I'm really, really excited about it. We had a really good conversation. I'm not going to really get into it too much right now, but it's definitely stuff that's coming. There's a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm excited to get a lot of good people and people that are doing their own movements of sorts or involved in a movement to make changes. Because suicide is like an umbrella. That's how I look at it. If we take care of different categories that ultimately could lead to suicide, and show people like, hey, even if you don't get involved in suicide, get involved in these other things, you could potentially help somebody that may be thinking of suicide at some point. And that's ultimately the goal. Like, suicide's mental health, suicide's everything involved. There's so many categories, with violence and everything else. So like I said, I'm just really excited about it. I wasn't really planning on this first morning video. Like my eyes are still waking up. My hair is still not, actually this is still pretty good compared to what you guys have seen lately. So I'm not worried about that. Today is going to be a tough day. I'm going to spend the first half of my morning kind of just gathering myself, trying to figure out different things. And then at some point I have to go back to the police, state police office. And I have to do the one thing that I'm afraid of. And that's see my bicycle. So I avoided it yesterday because I was already going to be this emotional and even more emotional than I am now. But again, it's in comparison, that bicycle is my partner. It got me through everything that I got through. It's given me so much. It's given me so much to in life, As you guys hear me say, and if you don't know, I've attempted suicide 3 times. I was planning a 4th when a friend got me on a bicycle. I have a road bike that I rode first. And that bike is obviously very important to me as well. I still have it stored with my best friend, Sean, which takes care of it very well for me. And I'm thankful for that because that is also very sentimental to me. It was my first bicycle as an adult, I'll say, because we all have, I rode bikes as a kid, but a lot of us stopped at a certain point, and I definitely stopped that. And, I just want the second bicycle, the bike that I did on my tour. When I started this tour, I was still unsure about my life. As much as I was I was faking it to make it at the time. And that bicycle gave me life, it gave me purpose. It helped me start this mission. It helped me start my nonprofit. It helped me through so many things, physically and mentally. I rode it for almost 18,000 miles. And realistically, I probably did ride it 18,000 miles because I rode it a little bit before I started counting the tour miles. And so that bike has seen everything I've seen. If that bike could tell stories, or if that bike could write its own biography, it would have a lot to say, I think. So, again, I'm super thankful that I'm alive. and I know it's a materialistic item and it's replaceable. And I know that, and obviously I'm gonna have to do that. Uh, but it's tough still. So I'm today I'll be going through the rest of my items. I will be going to check to see the bicycle. I'm gonna try to have to prep it because I am going to try to keep the frame and the bike seat and everything else. You know, as long as whatever's salvageable, I want to keep, and what's not salvageable, I'm going to get rid of. I want to keep the frame. That frame is. It's gonna be like, you know, when you have somebody pass, if you do a urn, and you hang that on your shelf to remember a loved one. I'm gonna be doing that. In a sense, I'm not gonna burn her down and put her in a. I'm not gonna melt it down and stuff, but that frame is gonna be a reminder of what I was and who I was and who I've become. Um, so for me, it's definitely something that I cherish, and I'm gonna figure out how I can get it to where I need to go, or to Alabama for storage, and I'm just thankful. So many things of that bicycle. Like I said, I keep saying I know it's replaceable, but it's still hard to think about. Um, and I know I have friends. I have really good friends and really good supporters. In particular, one of them that is really trying to find a way to get me a identical bicycle, even if it's a newer model. But the more I think about it, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm okay with that. To be honest, I don't even know if I want the same bicycle because how much I cared about that one. But that's something I can choose. I got plenty of time. It's not like I'm going to get on a bike tomorrow or anything, or and then anytime this year. And if I'm lucky, hopefully sometime within the first half of next year. But there's nothing that says that's guaranteed. It all depends on how I heal, how I can stretch out this leg after I heal it. So it all just depends. There's so much going on, and I'm just thankful that I have my life. I'm thankful that my pain's not as. I have pain, and I'm definitely injured. Um, I'm definitely. I have every right, as a lot of people have said, to be down and upset and sad and all these other things. But so it's not my style. If you guys know me long enough, I'm a human being. There's days that I'm gonna have tough days, and I show you guys that. And I think that's important. I think influencers need to show us their emotions and their struggles and stuff like that, because it makes it more real, and it makes it so that people realize that we're not perfect and we're not these amazing people that just do great things and only great things. Like, we have to struggle sometimes to get to it. We have to deal with different things, and for me, it's you know, it's having a positive attitude. In the hospital, I could have been, unfortunately, it happens far too often. Nobody wants to be in a hospital. Nobody wants to question, or wonder what's going to happen to them next, or how are they going to get back to what they were before. It is depressing, and I am thankful that I am able to stay strong, and that I can show you guys this stuff. But it's like, I wish more people understood that when you're down on yourself, or you have a negative attitude because something negative happened to you and you're in the hospital, or after the hospital you're not able to go as far as you can. Like, I used to ride my bike with the camper anywhere between 25 to 60 miles typically. I probably averaged like 30 a day, but that's on average. Now I can't even walk that far. I used to get off the bike after a ride and go walk a mile or two, or a couple miles, a few miles, to go get food, just to get off the bike, kind of change the muscle routine. And I struggle to get around the house. I have to sit down and take a break like I'm doing now. Um, it's just it's amazing. Like I said, I'm thankful for the support of my host. I'm thankful that she came and drove over 100 miles to come pick me up yesterday morning, and made it as comfortable as it could be in a car. Found out it's hard to sit in a front seat. Pretty much I am a whole back seat person. I have to take it up. Uh, uh, it's there's a lot of things that I still I'm gonna think I can do, and be able to accomplish. Let me turn my seat a little bit. Give me 1 second, guys. Unfortunately, for me to shift, I gotta move my whole leg into a different position. There it is. Now I got more light on my face instead of just black on this side, shadows on this side. At least I can walk still. I can't believe how lucky you are. Many people would have not survived this event. Absolutely, and that's 100% true. When I built that camper, I had no intentions of camper. If you've been following me long enough for that, that was kind of like a spur of the moment type thing. And it was even crazier is the day I got to Fort Collins and I got to meet Brian. Him and his buddy had been talking about wanting to build the campers, just for local stuff, but they were really talking about it, very serious. Actually, pretty serious because they made. I apologize, bud. I'm having a brain fart right now, but my buddy, and I'm really upset that I can't remember his name at the moment, and I literally know it. I think it's the medications, and I really do think I'm forgetting a lot of things because of the meds. But he built one out of duct tape and tubing or plumbing, like water tubing packs.
Call me. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Call me later.
Yes.
Relax. The remote's by the TV if you want it. Just call me later and I'll come down the hill and get you when you're...
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you so much. I have a great host. She's amazing.
And milk's in the fridge.
Thank you. She really is. And I think that she's just amazing to everybody because I can see what she does for people that deliver shipments to her or at her work. She is just always trying to lift people up, and that's amazing. And so I'm so thankful that I get to meet her. I got to talk to her on the phone quite a bit before I got out of the hospital and coordinate things and find out information about the incident and everything else. And so I'm super thankful for her. And like right now, she's going into work, but as soon as I'm ready to go get dropped off at DPS, she will leave work just long enough to come pick me up and drop me off, so she can continue working. So, it's I definitely shouldn't have survived this. The fact that I built this camper was insane. I used to joke around with my buddy Sean, like, dude, put all the stuff on the bike. You can do more stuff without a trailer. I didn't, trailers were insane to me, especially on a tour. But with that being said, the trailer, when I started helping Brian build his, because Brian got a fire under his butt when he saw. Ah, man, I'm really upset that I can't remember his name, but I will. It's just morning and already medicated stuff. So, anyways, that camper was surprisingly a weird thing that happened. He asked me if I'd be interested in helping build his. I originally was only planning on staying for a few days. He's also the one that tattooed my map on my arm. I don't know if you can get that. See, there it is. He's the one that tattooed that on me. And he'll also tattoo the final of it on me at some point, and hopefully the next phases as well. And that's my biking map. Whatever biking I do, I'm gonna map it. And ultimately, if it's With the trailer, it's gonna be a different color for that series, for that section. Um, and then at some point I'm probably gonna end up either near or at my crash site to restart or finish, depending on timing of year, if I can get there. Um, because again, I'm not letting this accident deter me from my mission, deter me from my goals or my journey. It's just putting me back a little bit and slowing me down. But mentally, I'm not fearful. I'm not afraid to be on the road still. Um, Accidents happen. Um, Things happen. People, unfortunately, are far too distracted, and you know, these things right here are the reasons most of the time. Um, but for that, like I said, building his camper really was like, man, I could really do this. I could make something. And I had no money. My journey was to do it with no money, and to be able to get like, I prayed about it. I thought about it. I was like, man, if I do this, I need to figure out if I can get a job for just long enough to make enough money to do this. I figured out approximately how much I needed to build it, and I, was, I asked a friend. I didn't even ask. I asked a friend. I was like, hey man, do you think your boss would let me work to make this amount of money, which was $2,000, which was my initial thought of the build. Ended up being a little bit more than that, and honestly, it should have been more than that because I didn't charge myself for labor. um, but I put a lot of labor into it. I put 120 hours into that camper, built it in 9 days, but I did 120 hours of work in 10 days of work in 120 hours is the amount of time it took me to get the money I needed, and I built it in 9 days in 120 hours. So pretty much I worked, made $2,000 literally just to, so my labor was $2,000. Let's just say that. How's that? So that camper ended up really costing me like $4,500 roughly. Um, which is still really good, you know, if you look at it that way. Uh, but I prayed about it. The fact that I got the money for it and worked for it was like it was meant to be. So that's why I started. That's why I stayed. That's why I got worked and I built this thing. And people thought I was crazy. People thought I was um, going in over my head. They were like, "Dude, you're gonna fail because you're adding so much more now." That camper from day one was amazing. I loved it. Um, Thankfully, I didn't have much sentimental attachment to it yet because I literally only did about 2,000 miles on it. But it was my home. It still was my home. It was a brand new home. That thing carried it gave me more options. I actually carried real food. I had I had a jet boil that really made it so that I could um, cook and store vegetables and dried meats and pasta and rice and all these things. I had more food in that camper than I ever carried or ever wanted to carry before the camper. So um, it also made it so I didn't eat out as much because eating out is expensive. And um, before I had the trailer, I didn't have the stove. So uh, if I ate, it was convenience store food, fast food, or every once in a while, if somebody gave me enough of a donation, that I would get um, a nice meal every once in a while, and I enjoy that. It kind of makes you appreciate food even more, but it also like makes it so like, man, I wish I had that every day. And my buddy John that I rode with in Wyoming and a little bit of Montana definitely can relate to that. We went to a restaurant and had an amazing meal at a restaurant, and he's like, Dan, I hate you. I was like, what? He's like, you ruined my taste buds. You ruined them. I don't know how I can eat anything else that I've eaten the rest of my life or in the past. I don't know how I can ever eat that again. So luckily he's an eater, so he'll eat whatever he got, but it just doesn't taste the same anymore at times. So I'm jumping around a lot. I apologize. Like I said, it's memory lane right now. So that camper from day one, it was tough climbing out of Fort Collins to Wyoming originally, but I had 5 hailstorms in the first 7 days with that camper. I had 0 hailstorms with my tent. I would miss them. They would either happen before I got to a location or they would happen after I left the location. But I never dealt with hail. So, that was I was like, man, this is pretty cool. Starting to hail, I threw my camper up and jumped in and let it play out. And when it stopped, I was able to get out and do everything I needed. Now, if I was not having that camper, there was no protection. I had literally nothing that would have protected me from that. There was no way I could have set a tent up before it was done. And if I did set a tent up, there's a good possibility that they would have gone through the tent. Potentially. Most of it was pretty, I consider small, and other people would be considering, really small. But there were some that were, to me, big. Like, quarter and nickel size is pretty big to me. I've never seen these softballs other than on the internet or on TV. And I hope I don't ever have to deal with that. But if I did, I think my camper would have handled it. So the fact that I had that, it made it so that I could connect to some people more. I had more connections and meeting new people, and I felt like I was reaching, even though I wasn't doing speeches and I wasn't connecting that way. I really do feel like, that it gave me the need, the ability to fulfill my need of bringing awareness. It was an eye catcher. It was a billboard. It was a home. If someone saw it, even if they didn't read what they saw at first, they're like, "Man, what is that thing? Is that a dog kennel?" So, unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about that right now. I don't remember physically about the accident, but right now. I was asked if I can briefly a brief summary of how the accident happened. I'll say this: I got rear-ended heading west. So the person said they didn't see me, and they went through my camper, which ultimately saved my life, and destroyed my bicycle and most of my belongings. And I was med-flighted. I was on a straight road. It was a clear day. Other than that, I'm gonna leave it alone for now. But at some point, we'll discuss that more. But right now, it's not necessary, and I'm not trying to deal with that right now. So keep that question handy. Maybe in 6 months, I'll answer that question. So for me, it was in a way, for people that believe in God, I believe that God sent that camper to me and sent me to Brian's house. And as much as me and Brian were planning on meeting anyways, because Brian was following my journey for a long time. And when I was in Illinois, when I got tattooed for my nonprofit logo on me, which is on this arm, my right arm, he's like, dude, when you get to Colorado, if you come to Fort Collins, I'll tattoo you. He's a tattoo artist. He's also one of the families that I am trying to help out. So if you guys have a chance, check out RivaDanUSA.com and you'll see it. I'm trying to help 2 families that are in need of help. They have kids. So Brian is a single father that splits it with the mother, but he has the majority of the time, I think. And unfortunately, because of COVID, a lot of people for the first 5-6 months were not really getting tattooed in Colorado, and there was a lot of restrictions, and he had a lot of cancellations, so he got far behind. And so I'm thankful that I can try to help him. Obviously, I physically can't give him money, but I want to make sure that he gets help so that he doesn't fall in his own depression. I want to make sure his kids are good, that they have what they need, and ultimately that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm helping these families, is because of the children. The other family is Um, a veteran friend that I served with, unfortunately, he lost his life in a car accident, and he left behind 2 daughters and a wife. And you know, sure they got a settlement. She bought a house with it, um, so that they were secured. But the daily lifestyle, the dailies, is a struggle. So that's why I want to help them, and really ultimately I want to help the kids. Um, and like I said, my help is by sharing the GoFundMe that I have for them on my website and on social media pages and everything else, so that they get the help they need. So if you're able to help, feel free, please. I'm looking to get that. I'm thankful that so many people donated to me for my accident. I wish more people would donate as well to them. So just even if you don't do per se a donation for yourself, be willing to share it for me. I appreciate that. Going back, because I jumped around, that camper was God sent in a lot of ways for me. And if you don't believe that, it was a coincidence. It was meant to be, however you want to say it. Like that camper was built for obviously a lot of reasons, but its ultimate reason was to save my life. If I didn't have that camper on that roadway I was on, like a lot of people are like, oh, if you didn't have the camper, you wouldn't have had to be in the roadway. I'm still 3 feet wide with my bicycle. It wouldn't have mattered. Um, the only difference was the camper was wider and it was bigger, so that they visually saw it more than me on my bicycle. Because it was the bags were wide. So even if I didn't, I would have been in the same riding position where I was on the road, even without the trailer. So that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter. All those things kind of, it's just crazy how things can happen and work out. I'm, um, I'm thankful for that camper as well. I'm thankful for my bicycle. Obviously, I have a lot more sentimental value to that bicycle, and it's gonna be a very emotional day. That's why this morning I'm gonna kind of try my best to mentally prepare for that. I'm gonna try to I don't know how you really ever mentally prepare for a loss of a loved one or a loved thing. Um, you know, even if you are thinking that you're mentally prepared when it happens, it's never, uh, it's never the same. I didn't name my bicycle because every time I name something, I lose it, and then this time I still lost it. And you know, uh, for me, I think it would have been even harder if I named it and and gave it more meaning. So I'm thankful. Again, I'm just really grateful that I'm alive, that I'm well, that I'm healing. Obviously, I'm doing really well. Like my face isn't road rash as bad. I got a little bit here and a little bit here. My forehead's all cleaned up. Um, it's it's amazing how fast it's healed. It's been literally tomorrow will be. I think it was Friday actually. So it's been less than 2 weeks. Um, it's been uh, healing every day, and that's what you visually see, but the other parts of me are healing as well. The fact that I was walking before they ever thought I could walk because I was so determined. Determination is a huge thing. Having the right mentality, having a positive attitude, it's a choice. Like I said, we could have been um, depressed about it, and there was days that I was, but I didn't live in it. And unfortunately, that's what we do a lot of times. Is once we get into that position, we get stuck there. It's like quicksand. And the more you don't try to grab that branch or that rope or get the hand of a friend to help you out, the further down you get stuck, and to a point where you just like this is it. I'm done, and I don't want to be in that position again, and I don't want to have you guys in those positions. So um, if you're in those positions where you're feeling stuck, reach out, grab a hand, reach out to me, reach out to anybody. just full fair warning right now. This week, uh, I don't even know if I could mentally help another person. So if it's in dire need that you need to talk to somebody now, please reach out to the hotlines. Please reach out to your friends. If it's something that can wait till next week, I will be more than willing to be available again. Um, just as I was every other time up to pretty much up to this crash, and even on this crash, I've talked to a few people um, to see how they're doing in my own worries, um, and and they're like, so I'd be like, hey man, how you doing? What's going on? Like, what can we do to help you, or what can you do for yourself to get on track? And they'd be like, this and that, blah. I just hate this. Wait a second, you're in the hospital. You just had an accident. I should be asking you these questions. And even just that little bit, them realizing that a guy that should be in the same position as them is trying to help them and staying positive because we do a lot of people do that fake positive, and I've done it in my past where we get we get to the point where we get to the point where we just need to fake it to make it, or we're putting a mask on for everybody, and after the mask we go look in the mirror and we hate ourselves. We're deep down, we feel hollow, whatever it is that feeling is. um I'm not at that point. I have sound mind. I feel like this is just temporary. I know what it is. I'm thankful for the journey because it's given me a lot of ability to again share my story. The more I've shared my story, the more I've healed, and it's given me that mindset where everything's gonna be okay. One pedal at a time. Mantra that I've been given from my best friend Sean. Um, those things are all reasons that I is where I'm at and where my mind is at now. So I'm really thankful for that. I can't tell you um, how grateful I am for the people that have supported me to get to the bicycle, to get on the bicycle, to continue riding my bicycle. And Zach, thank you for the love and hugs. Tell your mom I said hello as well. Um, Dan is the man. Well, I hear that a lot, but I'm just a guy. I am a man, but I'm a man trying to make a difference, one person at a time. That's why I love what OPAT is. OPAT, when you look at it, it could be one pedal at a time, which is what the nonprofit is actually named. But um, but the I don't think I'm special. I'm just a guy trying to make a difference, try to give people hope, and try to get them on board. Like I said, it's a movement. Oh, OPAT. That's what I was saying. Sorry, I apologize. OPAT is one pedal at a time, but it could also mean one person at a time. Um, Even though it's a P, like it's one step at a time. It's just a metaphor for whatever you gotta make it to make it through. But don't just don't make it through. Make it through and get healing. So with that being said, I've been just rambling on a lot. It's a long video, I'm sure, at this point. Um, Actually, it is a long video. It's probably like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So, again, I hope you guys are amazingly having a great day. I'll be doing another update probably. I might even do an update while I'm at the state trooper station so that you guys can see my emotions. And honk for hope. One step, one day, keep moving forward, and hope you're doing okay from Brittany. Um, I'm doing more than okay. Obviously, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm dealing with a lot of injuries, but I'm staying positive. I'm moving forward, and just like Hunter Hope said, keep moving forward. So, with that being said, since I'm finishing with this, check out Hunt for Hope. He has been riding uh, for suicide awareness as well. Unfortunately, he's dealing with some personal issues for family, which I won't get into, but he had to take a temporary break from his ride to ensure that his family is safe. So, with that, Randall, thanks Dan for been following you since the start in my home state. I can't see the picture, so it's hard to see actually where. But I'm glad that you've been following it. I'm hoping that you got that everybody here has been inspired or moved in some way to continue finding things. And again, the last thing, Zach. Yeah, I know you gotta stay humble, but not everyone can be a light in the dark. Is there anything that would help you out? Um, at this moment, I'm content, and that's the hard thing. Is when someone asks me if I need anything, I don't know what I need. If you think I need something, present it to me, and we'll go from there. I don't have anything in particular in mind, and sometimes a suggestion is exactly what I need. So, looking forward to continuing this conversation later on. I appreciate all you guys, and again, have a great day. And I'll probably try to do another update while I'm at the barracks. Inside, I don't get service, but I think outside I do. So, maybe I'll do an emotional, sad feed if you guys, I don't know how I want to do that. Like I said, it's gonna be a tough one, but I want to show you guys it. So, I hope you have a great day, guys. Have a good one.